how was your experience at BPM versus your experience with WMC?
It's different, man. It's different. It's a different vibe overall.
Right.
BPM in the last 3 years has changed directions from a more commercial festival to a more underground
Right.
house and tech house and whatever. It's gotten better. It's involving a lot of people, a lot of kids from South America and all these countries that don't really get to see any of these DJs play because they either play in Europe or they play in the States, and sometimes they can't make that trip, you know what I mean? So a lot of South Americans that can get to Mexico, they'll go to Mexico, you know what I mean? And it involves a lot of different crowds to see what's happening, you know? Musically this year, I think they were a little bit too much of the same.
Right.
But it was almost like all pushing for the same direction. You know, even Michael Corolla or you know all these other guys that play techno or like more banging, they were playing deep house.
Yeah, like I was telling
you. know, everybody's like,
like,
oh yeah, I'm feeling good. You know, let me play some vocal stuff, and you'll be like, wow. You know, but I heard Richie Hawtin and Cox and all these people in Ibiza last year dropping like deep dish and things like that. I was like, what? You know what I mean? It's crazy. You know what I mean? But it's because they got that older experience that they can go back and be like, I'm gonna try this again now.
Yeah.
You know, these people don't know this, so I'm gonna play it again. And the old people will appreciate it, and the new people will be like, what the hell is this? Because it's a good track. And a good track has no time, right? So yeah, that's what I was doing here tonight, man. Seriously, playing like
No, I felt it, I heard it, and I think the crowd appreciated it. You know, it wasn't. It never really went down. You just kept it the same vibe, but just different types of house.
That's it.
You know. So what's in store for you for the next little while? What do you got going on?
I mean, music. A few more of these events. Planning. You know, it's almost like you bounce from one thing to another, right? So it's BPM now in January.
Yeah.
Winter conference, Ibiza, and summer
stuff.
stuff.
Because you go to different places.
Yeah, before I leave Europe to come back home, I ADE, which is in October.
Yeah.
And then finally I come back home and I do my sleep birthday, which is in November, my birthday party. Back to like studio mode, you know what I mean? So,
nice.
but we have like, you know, our focus right now is on the brand and getting as much people involved.
Oh, you're definitely doing a good job with that because I see, like even tonight, I saw a few girls wearing House Gangster.
That's it, man. You know, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
It makes my wife happy because she's my partner and all that
And
stuff.
you're seeing the fruit of your labor.
Yeah. But more so is the fact that the kids are getting into it.
Yeah.
And it's an organic thing. It's not like force feeding whatever. You know what I mean? Like some of these kids would be like, I don't understand what this House Gangster shit is. But after I play it, like, okay, I don't understand, but I kind of like it. Yeah. So where do I find you? Or I send them to SoundCloud, you know, all the usual stuff. You know what I mean?
All the social networks.
Yeah, and then I tell them, yo, you could be a House Gangster. You're like, I could be, yeah, man, you could be a House Gangster. And it, you know, when you interact with your fans, which
motivates them.
Yeah. Also, a lot of these big time flashy DJs now, they don't interact with their fans anymore, man. You know what I mean? I'm one of these DJs to jump in the middle and be like, yo, I'm here. Take your pictures, give me a hug, whatever you want.
Signing autographs as well tonight.
You know what I mean?
You're accessible.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Because that's what it's all about, man. That's how you spread a good word. You don't have to say nothing, but your actions.
You know what? It's all these years, like we never really got to know each other, but we had a lot of, I guess, friends in common.
Yeah, man.
And never heard anything negative. Never. Not one. Maybe Paulo said something bad about you.
A couple of times. But
Yeah.
Listen, dog. You're trying to be nice.
No. Honestly,
You're trying to be nice.
no one's ever, like, whenever your name came up, it was never.
Well, I mean, look, I don't want to put it out there. It's not like I demand a certain respect, you know what I mean? But in a way, when I'm somewhere and I know people know, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me.
How was your transition from the United States to Canada? What since you're American and now you're a resident here in Canada, what do you see as the difference?
So check it, dude. Back in the day, there was 2-3 guys that used to work with casual recordings.
Yeah.
And they used to go to Toronto. They used to come back and be like, man, Toronto got it going on. Because that's when they were doing warehouse parties, and it was like Peter and Tyrell,
early 90s.
Kenny Glasgow, Shams, like, old school stuff. And they were playing that Jersey sound and like proper house stuff, you know what I mean? So after 2-3 times of hearing that, I linked up with a few people from Toronto that came to Chicago. I took care of them. They invited me. I came to Toronto, and I was like, man, I really like Canada. Like, I was like, I never heard I knew nothing. Like every American, every not to this, but every American don't know nothing about Canadians, man. But I didn't come to judge. I just came like, wow, this is a streetcar, and I was in shock.
But
was
the
like,
weed is better too, right, in Canada?
Everything is better. So I mean, I started coming up to play so often that eventually I found a new girlfriend up here, and I made the move. I started in 1987, pretty much. Moved to Toronto, man. And then you had industry back in the day. So those are the heydays of like when I was playing like all the big clubs, and then here still in Montreal and things like that.
Yeah, you spent a lot of
504 parties and all that stuff. Yeah, so I had so much work in Toronto, Montreal, and Ottawa and things like that.
Do you see a difference between Montreal and Toronto in terms of vibe?
There's always been a different vibe between the cities, man. It's like Toronto people will come to Montreal to party. Montreal people would never go to Toronto to party.
That's right.
Even though we both had good things, it takes a lot to get people from Montreal down to Toronto.
It did actually. Not as much now.
Not as much now.
But we're talking like because honestly, Toronto went through a huge change for the better.
Yeah.
In terms of their scene.
Yeah.
I still like because Montreal was based on we had its background in music was disco.
Yeah.
We had a huge disco scene here. Yeah. So the clubs always had banging sound system.
Yeah.
The light shows were amazing.
Yeah.
Because we had clubs.
US were closer to New York too.
Yeah. So Toronto was closer to Detroit, so they were Detroit influenced.
Exactly.
We were closer to New York, so we were New York influenced.
Yeah.
But in Toronto, they had more like bands, live venues, So a lot of the sound guys were EQing clubs with that mentality.
With that rock stuff, It took a few Americans to come up and fix that.
Yeah, like Twilight Zone had an amazing sound system. That was even before our time.
But it's a size thing too. I mean, every year Toronto gets bigger, and Montreal has like an exodus. So
because Montreal shut themselves in the foot. But anyway, that's a different. It's all political. If you go to Toronto and you bump into people there, I used to live in Montreal. Oh, my parents were born in Montreal.
But that's I think. No diss to Toronto, but I think a little bit of that cool factor might be some of the Montreal exodus.
It is. It's true.
Add some flavor, a bit of fashion.
It influenced a lot of stuff in Toronto.
Yeah, you have good talent coming out of Canada.
Yeah.
It's starting to show. It's getting more attention. I've always supported Canada, you know what I mean?
But you're like an adopted son now.
Hey man, you know what I mean?
We just gotta get you into hockey because he's not into hockey.
You don't watch hockey?
No, I do.
Come on, man.
But overall, I've always been supportive of Canada, and now I feel like I'm part of the family now.
That's good. Well, we're proud to have you.
Yes, sir.
So, you have any questions for Mr. Sneak?
Ask my questions on Skype. I'm a private guy. I don't.
Okay, let's do this. What do we mention some DJ names and you give us one word to describe what you're thought of?
It could be dangerous.
Huh? Let's do that.
You want me to start?
Well, start.
Jojoflores.
No.
No.
Jojoflores?
Yeah.
Wolf and Man. You know Wolf and Man?
I know Wolf and Man.
This is
new school.
This is a dangerous one.
Yeah. Good one.
For me, it's new school. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're good kids.
David Guetta.
Businessman.
Right. Good one. He's good. That's good.
You know what I mean?
Masters at Work.
Masters at Work, man. That's like That's just classic. That's just classic production.
Okay. Carrie Chandler.
Carrie Chandler. Carrie Chandler, I would say, comeback. He's made a huge comeback.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we got me in the house.
Carrie Chandler. Yeah.
Carrie?
Yeah.
Jamie Jones.
Jamie Jones, interesting. Quiet guy, super quiet.
Yeah. Okay, let's go closer to home. Mark Farina.
Patron. Patron drinker. No, I mean, jazzy, whatever. You can go from mushroom jazz
Yeah, for sure.
to like jacking stuff.
He flexes. Like Carl Craig.
Carl Craig. What did I say? Who's
Pioneer.
Detroit legend, man.
Yeah.
Detroit legend.
Theo Parrish.
Yeah, man. That's Theo's amazing DJ, man.
Yeah.
Amazing DJ. Selection. He's a selector.
Yeah.
Selector.
Jazzy Jeff.
Oh, there you go.
Jesse Jeff is probably one of the best DJs I've ever heard from.
Yeah. He has one of my favorite defected in the house comes. A lot of people don't know he makes a defected comp.
Yeah.
It was sick.
No, but I seen him play like with Matches of Work and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Wow.
He's the man.
Jeff's he's a real DJ. He's a true DJ.
Maceo Plex.
He's a raver. He's an old school raver.
That's what I heard.
Him and his girl old school ravers. They used to get tapes and stuff like that. And when the net first started coming, they had a website that they posted sets from like me and Doc Martin and all these people, and nobody knew. So like they were real fans of like DJs and music. So old school raver and self-flex.
Cool. Your experience at the club was good?
Amazing, man.
And you come back?
100%. 100%.
And
I mean, and anytime that I get to play whatever I want, whenever I want, that's the best type of thing.
Wicked. So, listen, we'd love to have you back. The door's open. Just let me know when you want to come back.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Paulo, is there anything you want to add? Since you
I'll be back.
Since you bum rushed our interview.
I'll be back tonight.
Right
Anyway,
now.
listen, if you don't know, Paolo Rocco's making moves. He's representing Montreal
Yeah.
Chasing bears.
to the fullest. He's doing a defected comp, right? I'm allowed to tell people that, right?
It's out when today's Sunday.
He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know, but pick it up.
It's out. No, it's not out. It's pre-ordered on iTunes.
This guy doesn't even know what's happening.
Pre-tunes. Pre-order on iTunes. There's a pre-tunes option. No, it's out Sunday.
Everywhere.
Sunday.
It's in the music section on iTunes, right?
Yeah.
Not the movie section.
Music section. Okay. I definitely think it's the music section.
Is there anything you want to add? Is what you're working on? Anything? Because you're talking about bears. We're talking about music.
He gave me my first light. It was DJ Sneak who gave me my first light.
Well, that's what he was just talking about.
Move Body, Move Forward. It was on a small label called Class A, ran by really cool people. Luca Lozano. It was like one of their, and I think they were open for maybe a year before that.
Yeah.
I honestly did not think anybody was gonna listen to it. Anthony Safoni did the video for the fact that the guy come here.
No.
Shut up. Come here. This guy is making music videos now. If you need videos,
This guy's the guy, right?
yes, Anthony Safoni.
He's like House Gangster too, no?
Anthony William branded videos. He's fucking dope.
Very good.
Yeah, you see? Hooking people up. That's what I do.
All right. So on that note, peace. Thank you so much.
People.
Thank you, Sneak.
Montreal. Thank you, bro.
Good to have you.
Yeah, 100%.
It was nice to break bread with you tonight. We had our own personal chef.
It was killer.
He
Glenn
killed
was
it.
good.
Yeah, we had like a
Thank you.
Brontosaurus shank.
Yeah, it was dope. And the cookies were good.
The blueberry cookies were really good. It's right there, right around the corner, Hotel Gulf.
Yeah.
Blueberry cookies.
Yeah.
Peace.
That's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
I don't know, I'm not finished over here.
Man, that's the longest interview we've done actually.
It's close to an hour. Really?
Wow.
I'm already here before I came here. So that was long.
Yeah, it was well.